And when I sent it to I didn't want to send it. I tried to send it to myself, my working, and send it to you. Method, and it came up like, try to find it. I was like, this is.
I just wanted to make sure that you're not doing all your kid work.
So, no.
Okay, good.
I haven't read the company.
Otherwise, I'm not learning good quality. Well, it's probably one of those like, what even systems? This is broad. So, the question is, what was one place? Passionate about it. Still broad. That was like one of the.
Can you record it? Something I want to see.
I'm outside.
Oh, okay.
You can find where she was.
Hi.
So,
Thank you. I have enough, but
and it's like,
I think John will help me.
And well, I'll be there one day.
But
I know the kid is super excited. It's very issues. Oh, so that works.
it works.
Yep.
Here is yours.
Yeah, she remember.
Oh, really? So much. Yeah, we should make 4 weeks. Come on, yeah, you don't have to. You did, you wanted to do it.
while you're on.
Plus they cut you out.
Yes.
We never had well.
Just my nose over.
Stop. You want to Thank God. Yeah. Just for you. Hey. Hi. It's
I'm getting ready.
I am here for. That's. Yes.
No, you're not asking. They have companies. You know, the broadcast.
So I just got.
Up here, I need to.
You need to put your controls. They're right there.
Outside. So the audio.
Sure.
I see.
I want to know what you're hearing from your speakers. So you're hearing the audio. There. And you're unmuted. So I can.
Oh, I'm not, I.
Go that way, but.
When he was born, he was completely unique. He always wanted to be facing outwards. You know, if there was anything going on, he wanted to be in the middle of it, always up for adventure. And he
So. That's what I heard.
Jeez,
I'm scheduled my
I can't wait to have you. And I have. But I may really be working on things.
Yeah, now it's on. Welcome, everyone. We're really glad you're here. Today, we're celebrating the 2023 recipient of the Ranger Brendan Unitt Community Service Award. This award honors the commitment to community that embodies the spirit of Ranger Brendan Unitt. It's important to remember who he was and why this award was established in his honor. Brendan grew up in Windsor, Colorado. He was a 2011 graduate of Windsor High School. He served his country in the United States Marine Corps from 2011 to 2015, which included a tour in Afghanistan as a military police officer. Following his military service, Brendan returned to Larimer County, and he graduated from Colorado State University in May of 2019 with a bachelor's degree in psychology with a concentration in addiction and substance abuse counseling. Brendan interned as a deputy probation officer with the Larimer County Probation Office, where he, not surprisingly, received the Deputy Probation Officer of the Year award in 2019. Brendan began his service as a Larimer County Natural Resources Boat Ranger at Horsetooth Reservoir in 2020. He committed himself wholeheartedly to providing safety assistance and emergency response to visitors. On August 20th, 2020, Brendan Unitt lost his life while rescuing distressed swimmers during a sudden severe storm on Horsetooth Reservoir. He was 27 years old and only days away from starting the police academy at Ames Community College. After his death, there was an outpouring of support from the community about his passion to serve through his countless interactions with community members and his coworkers. It's our honor to recognize Ranger Unitt's service and sacrifice by recognizing a county employee each year who embodies this spirit of selflessness and service. Ranger Brendan Unitt Community Service Award winners carry on Brendan's legacy of demonstrating their passion to serve the community through selfless acts of exceptional community service. We have a short video to share about the award and Brendan, and we'll show it to you now.
Brendan was Brendan from the moment he was born. He was completely unique. He always wanted to be facing outwards. You know, if there was anything going on, he wanted to be in the middle of it, always up for adventure. And he kept that mentality his whole life. He played as hard as he worked, and he was just, once he decided he was interested in something, he was going for it 100%.
So Brendan as a person was somebody who selflessly dedicated himself to his community. He spent the majority of his time outside of work, volunteering, and when he wasn't volunteering, he was dedicating himself to his family.
I got the feeling Brendan did not like people to be down or uncomfortable or any of those things, so he always had a way of just lightening the mood, just a absolutely electric personality. Had a internal passion that just like almost vibrated the room, just an amazing energy.
This award began in 2021 when former county manager Linda Hoffman was really inspired by Ranger Brendan Unitt and his service to the community. It was a way to recognize his good work, to memorialize him as a county employee, and to really honor the tradition of volunteering in our community while dedicating yourself to public service.
We want to honor those people who not only give through their work, but those who also are the unsung heroes that do things for the community that most people probably don't know about.
This Community Service Award is getting to spread so much more goodness, and it's going to continue to promote community service in such a wonderful community. Brendan loved actually all of Colorado, but this was his home and he was thrilled. This is where he loved to be.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we honor this year's recipient of the Ranger Brendan Unitt Community Service Award. Really excited to be here. This is a meaningful day for me. I am Jody Shai McNally, Chair of the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners. I am honored to be here as a part of this event alongside my fellow commissioner and colleagues, Commissioner John Gonzalez and Commissioner Kristen Stevens. I don't think there's any other electeds in the audience today. If there are, I didn't see you, but please recognize yourself. But thank you all for coming. We, the Board of County Commissioners and the other Larimer County elected officials, are so proud of the work county employees do in our community, of the work county employees do in our community. And this community award and this award, it is our desire to create this award that would be a lasting honor in remembrance of Ranger Unitt's life of service. You know, we're supposed to share a little bit about our experience. I remember that day. I'm a frequent visitor of the parks. I'm known as the ranger or the commissioner who likes to hike and pick up dog poop bags. But because I just don't like to think about the rangers spending their time doing that. But I also just love being on the outside, and I appreciate all the work the rangers do to make the visitors experience exceptional and safe. And I just really value our staff and our community members who share that passion and treasure our open spaces. That day was just, we also had a wildfire happening and other things, and it was just stunning to think this had happened. And I remember my daughter and I went and stood along the route to the funeral that day, and we were standing alongside as you all drove past. And so, and I very carry in my heart and memory just the honor of traveling with Brendan's mom and the staff to Washington, D.C. as he was memorialized on the Peace Officers Wall. And that was a great honor to be with you and to stand alongside all of you and to be there. It was something I will never forget. And it was a tremendous honor, and just to be with those others and listen to the stories and to stay with you, to stand with you. And it's so wonderful to see you today. Thank you for being here. For me, also having family members and the front line as first responders, this also is personal for me too, to understand we need to honor. Sometimes these folks see tremendous circumstances in their line of work, but then they also look for ways to give back in so many ways because they see the impacts of service and community in so many ways. And so I think you'll find most first responders are people that are involved with some of our kind of places, and even our first responder in law enforcement or medical, they're always giving back. I see that kind of a common theme with them. They want to make the world a better place. And so I really think this is a great way to honor Brendan's unit legacy. So this legacy, the legacy of this award is supported across county lines. As you know, Greeley Hat Works donated this custom hat to display in our commissioner's office throughout the years as a visual reminder that Ranger Unit and the service of our great employees. And I think when I say I'm a lucky commissioner, I mean that. We have amazing staff, and I feel so fortunate to be able to work alongside all of you. And every day you all inspire me and uplift my heart and give me hope for what we're doing together and for the work that we do to serve our communities in our county. So thank you. And I would now like to ask Commissioner Stevens to come forward to talk some more about this meaning, the meaning of this special award. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Shannock McNally. So after Brendan's passing, we learned a lot about who he was as a person. Generous, kind, funny, maybe a good dancer, like to wear onesies. A person that I wish I had known. So this award is intended to honor character as much as deeds. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the family and friends of Ranger Unitt that are here with us today, and most importantly, his mama. And Katie, thank you for being here and for always being here and supporting this award. I know it's probably hard to watch the video, but it's so great to really see him and see what he was like, and to know him from the people who loved him and cared about him. So we hope this annual award will grow into a fitting legacy for Brendan as an extraordinary person and public servant. Genuine service is giving even when your plate is already full, and when the organizations you volunteer with become part of your family. We hope this award will continue to recognize these unsung heroes in our organization for many years to come. Thank you for everyone who has worked so diligently to memorialize the service-oriented spirit of Ranger Brendan Unitt through this legacy award. As many of you know, the Larimer County Guiding Principles Champions Committee, made up of employees from across different offices and departments, spearheaded the effort to make the vision of the Ranger Brendan Unitt Community Service Award a reality. I would like to ask for Commissioner John Kafalis to come up, and he'll be acknowledging this committee and will share a bit about the incredible pool of county employees nominated this year.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Jody. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'd like to take a moment to wish you all happy and blessed holidays, including Hanukkah, which is coming up, and certainly Christmas. So I hope you're able to be with family. My job is to acknowledge, do a shout out for the awards committee of the Guiding Principles team, and that is what I will do. I would like to, first of all, creating programs of this type is not a small task. I'd like to recognize the awards committee, and that includes Jill Mosh of the Guiding Principles Champions Chair, Greg Turnbull, Corey Johnston, Nicole Berg, Caitlin Lovett, and certainly the rest of the Guiding Principles Champion team. Very grateful for your hard work in looking at all the nominations and making good decisions. The members of this committee have many times mentioned how astonished they were by the quality of submissions received. So many Larimer County employees provide extensive service to our community outside of what they provide in their 9-to-5 jobs. I've never really experienced a 9-to-5 job, and I don't think any of the folks assembled here experience 9-to-5 jobs. Nevertheless, so many, and we know that for every nominated employee, there are several more that dedicate additional time to serving our community as well. This year marks the third year of this award and adds to the list of great service our employees provide to the community. We have had over 30 nominations for the Ranger Brendan Unitt Community Service Award. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jill Mosh, but before I do, I just want to mention that I remember when events occurred that prompted us to acknowledge the need for this award. And I think one of the blessings is that I've gotten to know the family a little bit, the mom, Katie, and other family members. So that's a gift. And also I received this candy cane from one of the previous awards recipients. And I'd like to suggest that perhaps this could be a tradition moving forward. I will very happily and joyfully use this cane to add to our decorations on our Christmas tree at home. So now for sure, Jill, would you come on up and do what it is you're supposed to do?
Thanks everybody for being here today. Our previous recipients for the Ranger Unitt Community Service Award have volunteered an impressive list of community organizations that adds up to over 40,000 hours of volunteer time. So if you think about that, just the four people that we've recognized, 40,000 hours of volunteer time. A couple of those organizations are the Latinx Advisory Board, Centennial Bass Club, Interfaith Council of Fort Collins, Poudre and Thompson School Districts, Colorado State University, Crossroads Safe House, Larimer County's Catch a Special Thrill or CAST program, and many, many more. It's easy to see from our perspective how dedicated our employees are to public service. And the nominations for this award remind us how lucky we are to have a workforce that truly cares about the community they work in every single day. And today is such a fitting day to recognize someone that's given back to the community because it is Colorado Gives Day. So I'm excited to recognize the 2023 Ranger Brandon Unitt Award recipient. Our recipient this year is Lori Hodges. Lori works for our Larimer County Office of Emergency Management, and she's actively involved in many committees and special teams at the county and has a passion to create a community that is more inclusive and resilient. Not only does she work tirelessly to serve our county during an emergency, she serves our community in her spare time by being a resource and home base for young adults in our community. In addition to volunteering her time and efforts across the state and the nation with emergency management, Lori volunteers her time around the clock to help young community members have a safe and stable place to call home. Those who know Lori well talk about her giving spirit and her want to help young adults. She strives to provide them with resources that they don't have so that they can be successful in life. Opening your door when a friend or a neighbor comes and knocks is something we all do. But opening your door, providing a key, a bed, and a home is to someone you barely know is a gift that can change a life forever. Now we can watch a short video that speaks to Lori's heart of service.
For the Ranger Unit Award specifically, I think the person that wins that award is typically someone who is obviously pretty selfless, and that comes out obviously whether or not they want it to come out, you know. And so that's probably what I would say about Lori is she's very selfless in that way, which I think drives her to, you know, obviously in the work with public service, she's going to do everything she can to continue pushing this field forward and you know, doing that work. But also when she gets home, she doesn't just think about, you know, what she can do to relax necessarily. I think that's what pushes her to, you know, say, how else can I make an impact besides just my career? It's going to be, you know, where else do I have time? Well, I have time to put into the Matthews House, and I have time to put into young adults, you know, and help others, you know, be better than what they may be right now. And so she's always been a mentor. Obviously, she does the stuff with the Matthews House, so she becomes a mentor to those those young adults, those who live with her or staying with her at the time. But also, you know, that comes into the work she does as well, where she does a lot of mentorship and with the folks who work with the Office of Emergency Management. And she's always wanting to see us develop and ultimately be an asset to emergency management and to our communities and make a difference. So.
Lori volunteered at the host home program at the Matthews House for about 6 or 7 years. The host home program was a program that was supporting young adults 18 and over, 18 to 21, who were experiencing homelessness or who were at risk of homelessness. So I got volunteers out in the community, and Lori was one of those who volunteered to open up her home and open up her heart to young adults who were in need of that safe space. Lori was a volunteer who just brought a young person into her home. They would live with her for a certain amount of time, and she would help them sometimes with life skills and things like that, but really it was about providing that space for the young person to be able to just have a roof over their head, have what they need, so that they could then continue to develop on those life skills of finding a job with additional support from the Matthews House as well. I think something that I have found, especially when I was working with young people at the time, is that they don't want you to sugarcoat, they don't want you to say things that are disingenuous, they just want you to be honest and real. And Lori is definitely that, in the best sense, in a sense of holding young people accountable for what they're doing or what they're saying they're doing, but also in being able to encourage young people and to identify their strengths. So I really appreciated that about her. Lori just also has a heart of service. Like, she just wants to give back and encourages others to do that as well. So I just see that in her, and granted it's through the host home program solely, but you see that that encompasses her value. I'm just so grateful for Lori and just what she's done and what I'm sure she'll continue to do.
I believe that everybody has a role in giving back. I moved to Vegas when I was 18 years old with $300 in my pocket and no support systems, and I made it work. But I think that because of everything that I went through and because of where I've been able to go with all the resources that I have had, just because of who I am, I feel that we should all give back a little bit. And I went to a meeting at the Thompson School District, and at that meeting I found out that there were 500 people in that school district alone that were homeless, or that at least were designated as not having a place to stay overnight. And that number just stuck in my head, and that caused me to start kind of looking into, you know, how can I help that? Because I have a house and I have a room that's available. So I looked into foster care, went through the foster care training program, and then from there, Matthews House came to that training program and talked to us. And I was worried about foster care because with my job, I can't do young kids. My schedule wouldn't allow it. So the host home program was a really good medium ground where it's really adults who just need some extra assistance. We have great networks here. We have people who are always looking to help. So I just think we live in a really good community.
So our recipient this year will receive a replica of the Ranger hat memorial installed at Horsetooth Reservoir in Ranger Unitt's honor, presented by the Board of County Commissioners. At this time, I would like to introduce the 2023 Ranger Brendan Unitt Community Service Award recipient, Lori Hodges, to the podium.
I don't have a speech. Thank you. I feel honored to get this award, definitely because of what it represents, but I appreciate getting the award. That's all I have to say. I don't have a speech. Don't
go anywhere. Why don't you come out front? Well,
You want me to make it really bright? Yeah. This is good.
Thank you all for being here today. We spent a lot of time talking about Lori today, and I know it made her a little uncomfortable, but this is just a chance for us to honor an amazing individual who does a lot of great things in our community, let alone being an outstanding and exceptional one-of-a-kind office emergency manager, management manager director, and just really glad we can do this for you, Lori. So I'm going to do the closing remarks and just want to first thank Jill, Greg, and everyone who put this all together. Thank you, Katie, for being here. Thank you to the DNR staff for being here to support all the staff. Just really appreciate to see all of you. Also, to Lori's team. Lori, you built this amazing team you're building. It takes a nomination and a group that believes in you. So thank you for submitting the nomination and the work that you do together. We're very proud of all of you. I think we have the best OEM team in the state, quite frankly. So I'm just really proud of you all. So, and I just think we have just some of the most outstanding staff in the entire state in so many departments. So don't get me started. But I think it's really important to close with a quote that I think kind of talks about Lori, because she's very soft-spoken and I think there's lots of things we don't know about Lori, but She's a book author. I own her book, by the way. If you haven't seen, I own her book. Someday, I don't think you've autographed it yet. I've got to bring that in. Also, she's working on her PhD. I mean, there's just a lot of things about Lori that are outstanding. But I think sometimes, kind of back to this service award, because there's seen so many people in our community, even our county managers, volunteers in lots of tremendous ways. There's lots of people who do a lot of work. And I think too often we underestimate the power of a touch. This is a quote I'm reading. Not my quote, I wish it was. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, and an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around, which is Leo Buscaglia. And I just thought that was so appropriate for today because Lori, you providing a home and someone who feels like they care about them and that they matter is life-changing and life transformational for so many lives. And we are so proud of you. You're so well-deserved as this honor. And thank you, Katie, for being here. I hope you also feel this is just a great legacy and continued honoring of Brendan Unitt and to all the DNR staff. And to Katie, we still hold you all in our hearts because I know you all are still probably feeling this in your hearts. And we just thank you for your work and service. So with that, there's not much else to say because I know we probably don't want to make Lori too uncomfortable, but I think this will go out on the video. Hope you'll all share. And with that, we'll just conclude and just appreciate everyone being there. Thank you to my colleagues for their kind comments. And John, you're pointing at. Oh yeah, I know he's ready to eat, of course. And I just want to thank you all. Please join us in the back. And Jill, thank you for, and Nicole and the whole team, Caitlin, Corey, everyone, just thank you all for a wonderful job done. And thank you for all being here this afternoon. Lori, congratulations. Thank you.